In my series on the top 7 to-dos before bankruptcy, this is episode 6. Would you please be completely open and honest with your lawyer? I guess this is a bit of a touchy subject, but gosh, there have been so many times when there just is something that my client is embarrassed about and they don't tell me about it, and then it becomes a problem later in the case. And maybe I can fix it later in the case, and maybe I can't. Maybe we've got a serious problem that just isn't going to go away. It has been my experience in almost every case where there was something that came up later that my client should have told me about and didn't, that if I would have known about it before I filed the case, it could have been successfully dealt with. If you've been spending a lot of time at a casino, if you've been fired from your job, if you've been living off of relatives, just let me know about it. Tell me the story. I probably need to know all about it. And there isn't that much I haven't heard about by now. I've been at this for a really long time. They claim in their reviews that I'm not judgmental. I sure try not to be. We have to prepare a bankruptcy petition. The bankruptcy petition has somewhere between 600 and 800 questions, depending on how you count them. The thing is that sometimes on one of the questions, when you say yes, then it branches out into more questions. But by the time we are done going through all of those questions, we have a document that's somewhere between about 50 pages on the low end and about 90 pages on the high end. And there isn't anything in those questions in that petition that hasn't been thought of before. There isn't anything about your financial situation that isn't going to come up in response to one of those questions. And the sad fact is that once the bankruptcy is filed, your right to privacy, at least your right to privacy having to do with any of the information required for the bankruptcy, that right to privacy is pretty much gone. You have a right to privacy in my office. What you tell me is confidential and I can't disclose it. But once we put it on the bankruptcy petition and file it with the court, if I learn that something has been omitted, or if I learn that something's just plain wrong, it's my obligation to disclose that information to the bankruptcy trustee. And if you won't let me disclose it, then I've got to withdraw from the case. I mean, I guess you do have the right to tell me, no, you can't disclose it, but then I'm going to withdraw from the case, and that isn't going to look so good either. Failure to disclose an asset, failure to disclose some part of your income, even concealment of one of your debts, all the debts have to be listed. These things can be considered bankruptcy fraud. It can be criminal. More than likely, or very possibly, if you have to go to jail, I may have to go with you. Everything that we put in that bankruptcy petition, I'm supposed to double check it all, make sure it's true. A lot of the times, I don't know how in the world I'm supposed to really know that it's true. But I'm still responsible for it. So let's you and me both stay out of jail. Can't sell your boat to your brother for $1. You can't give a friend or relative some money to hold for you. If you change the name on a bank account that's transferring the money, we still have to disclose that. The bankruptcy trustees have access to the resources of the FBI to do their investigation if they get suspicious. Let's not make them suspicious. Case can be dismissed without a discharge. If you get a discharge, the discharge can be revoked. Or the court might find that some of the debts are not discharged. There's a very good chance that that thing you were trying to hide so you wouldn't lose it, now you're more likely to lose it than you were if you would have just disclosed it in the first place. Please give me a chance to solve the problem. Tell me about it before we file.